What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to do a quick review of this electronic indoor s'mores maker. In this review, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this, including one thing you should know before buying, and I'm also going to be roasting some marshmallows just so you can see how good it actually is. So we got this because, well, frankly, we don't always have firewood, don't always want to do s'mores on the outside of the house, and we just wanted something on the inside that the kids could enjoy. This actually does a really good job. It does have some flaws in it, which I'll explain in a minute, but it does a really good job. So it basically comes in 4 different pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All those segments will snap together, as you can see here. This thing just basically sets right on it. It doesn't lock in or anything. It just sets right on it. And then you have this grill here, which I'm not going to touch because I just had this on, and it is kind of hot, so I'm not going to touch it right now. But this grill is also on, and you just set that on. Turn it on, that's it. It is officially on, right? So, yeah, it does work really well. Let me actually show you the marshmallows here. I'm going to go ahead and actually start roasting one so you can see it in action. Okay, so it comes with these skewers here, which are not very long. They're not telescoping either. They do not telescope, but they do a good job. You just basically can hold the marshmallow over. And it does do a good job of actually toasting them. The one thing I will say is that this definitely takes longer than just a regular fire in toasting them. Usually your best bet is to kind of just hold them in one spot, let it get to the point to where it's really, really hot, and then turn it, which is different than campfire method. I always do that when I do it. On this thing, you don't do that. You can also see the coil is getting pretty warm there. See how it's getting reddish? So it is definitely working, and it does get hot, but like I said, it just takes a little bit more time than an actual campfire would. Now you can see I probably had this on here about 2 minutes or so. It's very hot, very red, and obviously the marshmallow, as you see, starting to get some color to it. Now this is usually the point where I'd take this off and I'd use the graham cracker and the chocolate that we have there, whatever it may be, to actually make the s'more. Nothing else really to it. I'll go ahead and turn this off. But the marshmallow consistency is actually pretty good. Let me go ahead and take a bite out of this, and I will show you the inside. All right, so as you can see here, crispy outside and a soft inside, which is what you want out of the marshmallow. So that all said, it does definitely work. It cooks the marshmallows well. Here's the thing to know about it, though. I feel like the safety of this product is pretty bad. It's really not that good. Number one, the reason? You turn this on, there's no indicator light. They could just add a light saying, hey, this thing's on. There is no indicator light all around it. They don't have that. Number 2, this thing, it just sets on. See how that works? It doesn't have a locking mechanism to actually keep it locked on, right? And also number 3, same with this thing. It literally just sits on. And there are little pegs. You can maybe see the peg. See the peg there? Right there, under it. There are pegs under it that do help to keep it in place. But to me, that is some safety issues. And then the last thing, when you use this, you're almost guaranteed, I'm using an extension cord, you're almost guaranteed to need an extension cord because it's not a very long cord either, right? So I like the design of this thing. I do think it's a good product. It does absolutely work. But just keep in mind that if you're going to be using this around little kids, which I feel like most of the time people will, you really have to keep an eye on them, because the safety of this thing, I just don't feel like they did a great job in, kid-proofing it, making it so it's clear that it's hot, things like that. But it does make some really good marshmallows, and yeah, it definitely makes some really good s'mores. So if you're considering getting it, definitely, it has my blessing as a good product. Just make sure you keep a very close watchful eye on it, because it can be dangerous for kids.